Hi guys, it's Katie here again from Bella Creativa. I have another project that I'd like to share with you today. So I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of the project, and then I'm going to show you how to upload the SVG files to Cricut Design Space, and then at the end of this video will be the tutorial. So if you just want to see the flip through, it shouldn't take too long. So my project today is this guy here. This is what we made during the tutorial. It's a steamer trunk. That's what I call it anyway. So there it is if you want to have a look at it. It looks like such. So to make this I used a set of SVG files. SVG files are scalable vector graphic files for electronic cutting machines. So if you have an electronic cutting machine that can use SVG files, then you can use these SVG files, and they're available in my Etsy store, and I will put a link in the description box below. Okay, so the SVG files come with all of the matting and all of the pieces to make this trunk, as well as the handles. It comes with these handles here. It comes with the straps, which you can embellish any way you like. I've just used these eyelets for this one. It comes with this piece here, which is the locking mechanism. So if you don't have any hardware or you don't want to use any hardware, you can make this lock to, close it off and keep it closed, and also just to make it look pretty. But if you've got some hardware, some metal hardware that you want to put on there, that's great as well. I just wanted to give you an option. So to unlock this, you just pull out this little bar here, and I've just put a little key on the end of that, and then you just flip it up and it opens up like that. Before I open it up, perhaps I should just measure it for you. So this is the size that it comes in, and the reason it comes in this size is because I've made it to fit 4x6 photos, and I'll show you in a minute. But it is 23 centimeters tall, which is 9 inches. It is 9 inches long, which is obviously 23 centimeters long, and it is 19 centimeters wide, which is about 7.5 inches wide. So that's the size of this one. Okay, so then when we open it up, you can see that it's all nicely matted on the inside, but also it comes with all of these, it comes with the SVGs to make these expanding file folders as well. And these are what you can make to put in here, and as you can see, I've just labelled each one what I wanted, the contents of it, the photos that are in here. Blah, I'll get it out in a minute. And the photos that are in here are all 6x4 photos. So if we have a look at this one, it's the expanding file folder, and these are 6x4 photos. This is my son when he was little. He's not little anymore, so I really need to do something with these photos one day. But so there's 20 or 30 photos there, and they just slide in there like so, nice and easily. There's plenty of room for them, and they're protected, and they have their little spot in here, and maybe one day they'll actually make it to an album. But do you know when you're having a conversation with someone and you talk about something that happened, and you say, oh yeah, I've got a photo of that, but it's buried somewhere and you can't find it? Well, for me, it was buried in a cardboard box in my storeroom, and it meant that I never looked at those photos because they hadn't made it to an album, or some of these are really old and they were in an album. I took them out to scan them, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to make a really pretty album for them, and I really never got around to it. So anyway, until I get around to it, I can store them in here. This can sit out in my living room, and I can still see the photos when I want to. I can have this nice little steamer trunk that can just sit on the bookshelf and look pretty, and I can access the photos when I want to. So we made this one in the tutorial. So this is the one that you'll see being made. Let me put that one to the side. because I wanted to show you that being a set of SVG files, we can make them bigger or smaller. So here's a dinky one, isn't it cute? So this one's in my craft room. It has the same locking mechanism as the big one there, and it has the straps, but this time I've used some brads. For the locking mechanism for this one, I just used a little cocktail stick because it's quite a tiny little hole there. But it still has all the handles as well, and it's been matted, and I usually spray everything with a coat of acrylic spray. Makes it really tough. That's just cardstock and scrapbook paper, but I've sealed it and it's made it nice and tough. So of course this one opens up just the same way, and it's lined inside, and this one's just full of bling. These are just the chunky sort of glitters that are great to use for shaker cards. So I've just popped all of those in there, and I just like looking at all that bling. So this one just stays in my room, in my craft room, in case I want to use some glitter. So that's what you can, you can make it smaller, and it could be, you could hold things in it. It could be a little storage thing, it could be a little decor item. It could be a gift box, anything you like. So that's that one there. Oh, I forgot to tell you something about this big one here. Because it's designed to take 6x4 photos, we have made a couple of SVG projects before that also takes 6x4 photos. So I wanted to show you that you can, you don't have to use the file folders. We have options, and we always like options. So this album here, I've made, and I believe there's a tutorial for it, and I'll try and remember to link it here. This is called the envelope mini album because it has these little envelopes in here, and you can make it as wide as you like. So this is also a set of SVG files, and this is a freebie. So if you wanted to make this one, the files are available in my Facebook group, Bella Creativa Divas, and I'll put the link to that in the description box below. So this takes 6x4 photos, and it fits really nicely in here. So you could make these instead of the file folders and keep your photos in there like that. Look how nicely that fits in, isn't that fabulous? Or the other thing that we've made in the past that also fits in 6x4 photos is the expanding file folder. So there is also a tutorial on how to make the expanding file folder. I think there's several actually, but I will put a link to maybe the flip through of this one in the description box below. So this was designed to take 6x4 photos as well, or 6x4 and smaller is what I mean. But that also fits in here really nicely. So you could have a mix. You could have a few file folders, you could have a folder, a mini album, and you could also have an expanding file folder, or just expanding file photos and just albums, or anything you like. You can do anything you like. So they all fit in here as well, which I think is pretty nifty. Let me give you a quick flip through of the SVG files. So this is the booklet I refer to in the tutorial. I always make these little booklets, or I nearly always do, make these little booklets for any of my projects, and I include this in the downloads in my Etsy store so that you can make this book up yourself if you want to refer to. I know a lot of people who have made my SVG projects in the past like to have the little booklet as well, especially for some of the more complex projects that we do. Anyway, I've been a little self-indulgent, and the photo on the front is one of these steamer trunks with my doggy in it, with my puppy. So you'll see the puppy. So these are the screenshots with each of the pieces in them. The pink pieces are the mats, and the blue pieces are the pieces that I cut out of cardstock. There's 8 files, and I have given an alphanumeric number to each of the pieces so that I can write in the description box below the video which pieces you need to cut and how many of each piece. So we have all of the files here. and this is the trunk lid. This is the side of the trunk lid, and this is the base, the side of the base. This isn't the insert piece, and that'll make more sense once we start putting it together. This is the locking pieces that we use to make the locking mechanism. And then lastly, we have a couple of those file folders that we also come as a part of the SVGs. So that's what you get. That's what this is the project that we're about to make, and I will just head over to the computer now so that we can upload the files and then I can cut the pieces out. All right, see you soon. Okay, so here we are at the computer, and I have just downloaded the zip file from my Etsy store, and the link will be in the description box below. And what I have received in my downloads folder is this zip file called SVG steamertrunk.zip. So your downloads might go somewhere else, but in my instance they do go to my downloads folder. So first thing we need to do is extract the files out of this zip folder. So we'll double click on the file, and then up here I'm going to click on extract all. And it's going to it's telling me where it's going to put those files, and I'm going to click extract, and that's it. It's just created a file with all of these unzipped things in here. So let me just pull this across a little bit. You'll see that there are a number of SVG documents. It says here in the type section that they're the SVG documents that we need to upload to our electronic cutting machine software, and in my instance I'm using a Cricut. And then there are also 2 PDFs. So let's start by having a quick look at those. So I'm going to double click on this one, double-sided booklet. Double click on that, and this is the double-sided booklet that I refer to in my tutorials. So if you wanted to go away, if you wanted to print out the booklet and have it on hand to refer to, this is it. It's got the all the numbers, labels on them in case you want to refer to those as well. So that's the double-sided booklet, and then there's the guide for the steamer trunk. So let's double click on that. So this is another PDF guide. This one, look, that's my puppy. Isn't she beautiful? If you wanted to just have a read through this, you might not need to print it out, but it just talks about changing the score line, changing the cutting lines to score lines, which is what we're going to do in this video now. It has a link to this video so that you can come and look at this again if you need to. A little bit about sizing and rotating the objects on the mat, and how many SVG files come in here. And then there's a link to the video playlist, and then right at the end there's the important copyright little bit info there, and then at the end again is another section of those screenshots of each of the files. So it's up to you which one you want to refer to. Because I produced myself a double-sided booklet, it was easy enough just to put it in the package for you as well. I know there are a lot of people who use my SVGs who also like to print out the little booklet and keep it on hand for reference. So these SVG documents we now need to upload. So let's go over to Cricut Design Space and click on the upload button on the left hand side. And I actually already have them here, but we will go through the process again. So I'm going to click upload and click browse, and then I'm going to ask it to go to my downloads folder. So here is the folder that we originally downloaded that's zipped, and then here's the same folder, it's unzipped. So we need to click on the unzipped folder, and then I'm going to click on trunk base and hinge, and that's my file, and it says trunk base and hinge, and I'm going to click save. So I'm going to go through and do that for each of these ones here. So I'm going to double click on B. I'm happy with that. Click save, upload, browse, double click on C, Happy with that. Click save. Just, you know, once we only need to do this once and then it's done. D, click save. Upload, browse. E, click save. Upload image, browse. F, and click save. Couple more to go. Upload, browse. G, click save. Last one, upload image, browse. Double click on H, click save. So now I'm going to click on each one of those files that I've just uploaded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Click insert. So it brings them into our canvas in Cricut Design Space, and it will dump them all one on top of the other just like that. Now, if you're using a different electronic cutting machine and software, I'm sure that you can still apply these principles to what you need to do to the files before you can start cutting them. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just minimizing this so that I can move everything around and it doesn't get all confusing. Okay, so there's my 8 files. So for these files, we do need to make some changes to it. So let's start by clicking on this first one, and I'll just go up a little bit higher so you can see it. So this is the base and the hinge. First thing we need to do is click on group, and then we don't need to do anything to the base, but I do like to group them together. So that's the mat and the actual base itself. So I've selected both of those together, and I'm just going to click group, and that just keeps them nice and neat. And then this piece here is the hinge, and it has a line that goes through the middle, and we need to change that line from a cut line, which is how the software is recognizing that line at the moment, to a score line. So if we go over here to the layers panel, this bit here in grey is the piece that we've selected, the hinge, and we have a section here that says cut, and you can't really see it, but there is meant to be a line in there, and then there's the actual blue piece itself. I'm going to click on this one here where the line is, and I'm going to come over to line type on the top left and click on that drop down arrow and change it from cut to score. So you can see immediately that it's changed that line to a dotted line, which means it's now a score line, which is brilliant, but we need to attach that score line to the actual piece again. So let's go back over to the layers panel, and if I click on this section here just above our score lines where the arrow is, it highlighted both the score lines and the blue piece again, so that's what we want to attach it to. So then we just come down to the bottom and click attach, and that's that one done. So that's all we need to do for that file. So let's just pop that guy over there, and then let's look at this one here. So we need to ungroup the file, and then this blue piece here has got some cut lines on it. So I've clicked on the blue piece, go over to the layers panel, I'm going to click on those cut lines, go up to the line type, click score, I change it from cut to score, and then I'm going to come over and click beside that arrow, and then I'm going to come down the bottom and click attach. Now you can see that somewhere we've lost our pink mat that sits on top. We just need to send this piece to the back. So I'm going to right click with my mouse and slide down to send to back. And now we can see our mat again. And then I'm going to select those two little pieces together and click group. Just keeps it nice and neat if we keep the mat grouped with the piece that it belongs to. Now this is the lock piece here. We need to come over to the layers panel and change the cut line in the middle. This is this little line here in the middle. We need to click on that and change it from cut to score, and click on the whole piece and click attach. Now if we can see that we don't need to do anything to that one, but this little guy here, this tiny little guy, it's got some cut lines on it that we need to change to score lines. And click on score and click attach, and then we're going to click on this guy here, and that has some cut lines on there, and click on those cut lines, change the line type to score, and click on that whole little part below the arrow and click attach. Now, just a little thing here is if we move this guy out the way, you can see that there's a mat underneath, and it also has a line on it. So we need to change that line as well. So just click on that little piece there, go over to that cut line. I'm going to change that line type from cut to score. Click on that little arrow again and click attach. Oh, my dogs have just run off out of the room. Something exciting is going on. Now I'm just going to send this one to the back, and then I can bring this one back on top. I'm going to select those two pieces together and click Align Center, so that's nice and neat again. Then I'm going to click Group. And while I'm at it, I might just group all of those pieces together because all of those pieces belong to the lock. So I need to go through and do that for all of these pieces that have got lines on them. So wherever there is a cut line along here, we need to change it to score line. So you can see for this one here, we need to ungroup it. I'm going to click on the blue section, and there's a whole pile of lines there. We're going to change those cut lines to score lines, and then click the whole section, click attach, click send to back, and then group it together with its little mats. And that just keeps everything up here nice and neat, and we can see what we've done. Okay, so then we need to do the same for all of these files. Let me just zoom out a little bit. So there are cut lines on this that we need to change as well. So let's just ungroup that one. If I click on the blue piece, you can see here that there's some cut lines. So click on those cut lines, change them to score lines, select the whole piece, click attach. Then I need to right click and say send to back. Click off it, select both pieces and click group, and that's another piece done. So we don't need to do anything to the handle, so I'm just going to, oh no, I need to ungroup it first, getting ahead of myself. Don't need to do anything to the handle, so I'm just going to click group to keep those two guys together. And we need to change the cut lines to score lines for all of these pieces here that we have left, but I won't bore you with that. But what I will show you is what it looks like when it's all done. So let's just say new, replace my projects, and I've got one here called Steamer Trunk. Click on customize, and you can see how I've set mine up as a project. Right, so let me show you. So now when I cut it, I don't need to make many changes. So I've got my whole piece, my whole little group here for my lock. This is my hinge here. Now I've arranged this so I've got the trunk base here, and then the sides on each side and the long sides here. So that is my bottom base. And then these sections here are my inserts, which when you watch the tutorial will make much more sense to you. And that's the whole bottom of my base. Then my lock is separate. Then my inserts are separate, and also my little strap. And then this is everything that I need for the top section or the lid of the steamer trunk. And I've just grouped that all together. So that's how I've set up my project, but you set it up any way that you would like. So now I'm going to go and cut out all the pieces that I need, and I will put a list of all those pieces in the description box below for you. And we'll head back over to the table and we will make a steamer trunk. So I'll see you there in a minute. Okay guys, so I have cut out all my pieces, and I'll just run you through which pieces I've used as we put it together. And we'll just go through the little book, and I can point out the pieces that I've used so that you will be able to follow along. I have got a list of all these pieces that I've cut out, and I'll put it in the description box below so you don't have to try and remember what to use. You can just look at the description box and it will have all of the pieces in there. Okay, so I used this cardstock at £65, 176 GSM Recollections cardstock, and I am using black. I know it doesn't appear fabulously on the camera, but I think we can get away with it for this project. And if I used anything else, I always feel like I have to ink it, and I just can't be bothered with the inking right now. And I'm using this really old paper pad. Well, it's not old to me, it's brand new. I just got it on clearance the other day, but It's a pretty one, Hawthorn by Heidi Swap. It's an oldie, but of course you use whatever you like. Okay, so we're going to start with making the base, which is basically just a box. So let me put these pieces aside. So this little collection here is for the lid. And these are the mats for the bottom section, and these are the pieces. Okay, so let me just show you what we've got to make the base of our trunk. I've cut out one A1 piece, and that's this bit here. This is the base of our trunk. Then I've cut out 2 of these B2 pieces, and when I'm talking about these pieces, I'm talking about the blue piece, the blue pieces underneath that I've cut out of the black cardstock. So I've got 2 of those B2 pieces, and I've labelled them, and my Cricut's done the scoring for me, so I've just already folded that in, sorry. And then I've cut out 2 of the C2 pieces, that's these 2 guys here. And then I have cut out 1 of the E1 pieces, that's this one here. And then 2 of the F1 pieces, and that's these 2 pieces here. So that's what we need for the base. So I can put that aside for now, and we can start. So the F1 pieces and the E1 pieces are the bit that goes inside. It gives it a little bit of extra strength, and it also gives that little lip that so the lid sits nicely. But for the base, we are just going to start with our A1 piece, and that's simply going to attach our B1 pieces, B2 pieces, sorry, to the long sides, and our C2 pieces to the short sides. So glue time. Right. So there's 2 different types of tabs on here. There's one that's sort of triangular, it's got that sharp corner, and this one is the round corner. We're going to attach the sharp corner tab to the base, and I'm going to put it underneath. I think it just makes it a little bit stronger and neater, and of course we're going to mat the back anyway, the bottom at the end anyway, so you won't see a thing. So I'm just going to put some glue along here. I'm using this fine liner. Hopefully it won't take me too long doing it like this, because it stops me from making such a mess, I think. So I'm just attaching this B2 piece to the side here. Make sure it's sitting up flush against that tab. I'll just wipe up my excess glue. Make sure it's lined up. And then I usually just run my bone folder down that edge there as well, just to make sure it's really nicely attached. And then we can do the same on this side. So on that tab with the sharp corners, I'm just going to put some glue along there. Whee. And attach that one on here. How to make it look really, make such a simple thing look really difficult. Okay, there we go. Trying to line it up, doing a poor job of it. Let's start again. So that was a really simple thing to do, and I still managed to mess that up. I could have left it, it was a millimetre out, but it just doesn't, I would be bothered by that. Okay. Slide that into there and that into there. Okay, I'm happy now. Okay, there we go. So that's those 2 pieces there. I'll just burnish that one down as well. And then I'm going to do the same with these C2 pieces. So it is the sharp cornered tab. I'm going to put some glue on that one and then tuck that one in. So I think you can see we're just making a box here. Nothing special about it, really. The magic comes later. I'd like to say that was true, but you know, you've got to start at the beginning, don't you? It's never exciting in the beginning. Right. Pop that one in there and that one in there. And just flip that over and make sure that those guys are well stuck as well. Okay, let's flip that back over. So these tabs on top, the idea of those is just to reinforce that top so that it's a little bit stronger. And so on these short ones here, I can glue those down already. So we may as well just go ahead and put a bit of glue on there. And glue that one down. We don't want to do the long sides yet because these little tabs are going to sneak under there, and we want to hold those down. So we'll just do these short sides to start with. Like so. And then just pop that one down. Make sure it's all stuck. Okay. So now we just need to put our box together. So all I'm going to do is go around on these tabs and put some glue on those. And put some glue on this tab here. And then I'm going to bring it up on the inside and join it together. Make sure it's flush on the outside. She says, make sure it's flush on the outside. And then I'm just going to run my bone folder along there and make sure that's firmly stuck down. And then we can do that all the way around. Okay, so now we've got our box together, and we just need to fold these two long tabs at the top over and glue those down. They're just for extra strength, so they don't do anything other than sort of reinforce. So let's do that. Bit of glue on there, just fold it to the inside. I'll use my bone folder to make sure that it's attached. I might not have put enough glue on that. We'll soon find out. I'm trying not to use so much glue. Let's see how that works. Okay, put a little bit of glue on here. I can't see it. Oh, that's a horrible noise, isn't it? Sorry. Oh, stop doing that. Okay, and then fold that over and attach that one down. And then I'm just going to run my bone folder along there again. And there's our box, pretty simple. So now these little bits here, this one here is going to go on our front side, and you'll see that it's a little bit taller than the bottom of the box, and that's so when our lid comes down it just sits flush up to this lip here. So let's put our box away, and I've got my E1 piece and my two F1 pieces. So one of these F1s we're going to glue onto this side. So let's just glue that down here. And I'm just going to line that up along here. And squash it down nice and flat. Oops. Like so. And then I'm going to do the same with this one on this side. So I'll put some glue on this side here. And I'm going to lay that down on top of this one. Here and here. And give that a nice burnish. Like so. And then on the inside, might need to just come over a little squidgen. I'm just going to glue these two in. They're not really for anything else other than, again, providing a little bit of extra strength. So let's just do that. I always try to construct things building in as much extra strength as we can, especially on edges, you know. Just make them that little touch bit stronger so that they don't, so that they stand the test of time a bit more. I mean, obviously it's just cardstock, but it's amazing how long these things can survive for. I think we've all had cardboard boxes that have been knocking around forever. So now I'm just going to glue these 3 edges down as well with some glue. So let's just do that. This is the top edge. Oh, sorry for that scrapey noise. I'm just going to glue that one down. I feel like maybe I should use a bit more glue because I don't feel like that was enough. Also, that scrapey noise is a bit annoying. Alright, let's just put this away for a second. If I can put the... Oh, getting that tiny little needle in is really painful. There we go. Okay, same glue, different bottle. Now I'm just going to have way too much glue. I'm trying not to use too much glue. May as well do this one here as well. Okay, glue that one down. Glue this one down. Right. Might need a little bit more glue under here. That was too much. Oh well, we won't see it. We're going to put some mats there anyway. Thankfully, I need a bit more here as well. Trying so hard not to use too much that I'm not using enough. Okay. So what we're going to do is actually, I think I need some glue in here as well. Wow. Trying so hard not to get glue oozing out everywhere, which is what I usually do, that I'm just not using enough glue. So now we can bend this around. Now I think it might be better to go that way. And this is going to go in our box. So let's bring our box back out. This is going to go in our box like so, and this, where we're putting it here, that's going to be our front section, okay? So what I like to do is round these little corners here with my corner rounder. So I'm just using this, and I'll just strip this back out, and we'll just quickly put some corners on here. That doesn't sound very good. And this one here. Right. So now we're just going to glue this into our box just like so. Okay, we could even put the mats on there now. Will we? Will we? Maybe I won't. I'll just put this in there for now. So, what I am going to do, I'm going to pop that in, and then I'm just going to give myself a little line here, because you can see it comes up higher than my box. I'm just going to put a little line along here, just so I know where to put the glue up to, roughly speaking. Just putting a little mark there where it comes up to, and then when I pull it back out, I don't know if you can see, but I've got those lines there, so I know I want to put glue on this bottom section here. So let's just do it. Along here. And along here. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring my box back, flip this in, slide it down, and then make sure it's sitting nice and flush. And then I'm just going to lay it down on my table and just give it a good press, make sure that it's firmly attached. And this one. Might put my bone folder in there. Just make sure I've got those edges and right down the bottom. Okay. Not bad, only got a little bit of glue coming out here, I think. Maybe a little bit here. Okay, so now that we can see that those three sides are already nicely reinforced, and this is, our lid will be attached at the back here, and then it will sit nicely on these little side pieces here. So that's all ready to go. I think we'll move on to our lid now. So let's put that to the side. I'll put the mats for that in there, we can do that later. And I'll bring out the bits that we need for the back. So these are for the lid. So these are my mats for the lid. I'll put those to the side for now. Don't forget, I'll put a list of everything in the description box. Okay, so this is what we need for the lid section. I've got 4 of these C1 pieces here. I've actually got 4 of those, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then I have 1 of the D1 pieces, that's this guy here with the teeth on each side. And then I have 2 of the E2 pieces, which are these 2 guys here. Okay, nice and easy, this one. Put that there. Okay, so the first thing we might quickly do is, for 2 of these C1 pieces, we're not going to do anything to them. We're going to use them just like that. But for these 2, we're going to cut all the tabs off. So I'm just going to grab my cutting board. And I'm simply going to line up the score line. I don't know if you can see the score line there, but you'll be able to see it in the book and obviously on your SVG file. I'm just going to line up that score line on my cutting board, and then I'm just going to cut it off. So we don't want that tab, nor do we want these 2 little short tabs on each side, so I might trim those off. 1 and 2. And then I'll just do exactly the same thing with this piece here as well. So then we have 2 that will look like this, just a semicircle, and then 2 that have the tabs on. So I'm just going to line that up there and there. Cut that off. The same with my little tabs. I'm not sure how well I've done that. We'll see when it comes to putting it on. Might need to trim that a little bit better. Okay, so that's all we need to do with those 2 little pieces. Okay, so now this is the bit where I try to make it look really easy, and I make it look really far more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, these 2 E2 pieces we're going to put on the short non-teeth side, okay, on this side and on this side, like so. So again, we've got the tabs with the rounded corners and the tabs with the sharp corners. We're going to attach the ones with the sharp corners. And this time, because this is our lid, I don't really want to see it, I'm going to attach it on the inside. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is my tab. Oh, try not to use so much glue. This is my tab with the sharp angles. Okay, so that's going to go along here like this. So that should line up quite nicely between the teeth, like so. Press that down. I'll just flip that around. Do the same on this side. Like so. A bit too much glue again, Katie. Oh, come on, line up. Oh my goodness. There we go. There we go. There's glue everywhere. mess. So one of the reasons I didn't want to use so much glue is because it does make it buckle a little bit, which it's fine once it dries out, but oh well. This is how it is. Okay, so then, now this is the bit where I make it look really much more difficult than it actually is. This guy here, what we're going to do is we're going to bend our lid around like this, and we're going to apply the teeth to this rounded section here, so it looks really weird. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this tab onto this E2 section here. So this little tab here is going to attach there like so. Right, so we're just going to do that to start with. Let's do that. Put that one down on here, like so. Make sure that it is lined up, and that one's going to fold over there. Okay. So now I'll just pop that over there. I'm going to put some glue on each of these little teeth. Is there one missing under there? No. Put some glue. Oh. I'll put some glue on each of these little teeth. This one here has got quite a lot of glue. Oh well. Okay, so then I'm going to bend this over and sort of roll, because you can see the score line there. We're trying to get the edge of this long edge here to line up with that score line and the edge of the teeth. So I'm just going to roll it around like so, and as I do that, I'm going to turn it around this way. As I do that, I'm just going to be pushing those little teeth in. I'm just going to use my finger with all this glue. Okay, so this is I'm going to make this look more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, just so we're all on the same boat there, same page. It might even be easier. I tell you what, let's attach this tab here in exactly the same way we did that side to this side, and then that might help hold it in place. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to put this tab on here. I think that's what I did the last few times, you know, I've just forgotten already. And that way it'll sort of hold it in place a bit better. See that? Okay, now I'm going to try and attach these little teeth. Just press them over and bend them over like so. Get them to stick. Can you stick, please? Why is it that the glue sticks when you don't want it to, and then it doesn't when you do want it to? I'm just going to fold them over like that. I really am making this look so difficult, aren't I? There we go. Once you get them in place, it's no problem. It's just getting them there. Now, I feel like I got that tab there a little wrong, so I'm just going to pull it away so I can line this up. And I'll just put some more glue on that little tab there and attach that properly. It does not look attached properly. Right. That doesn't look like it's attached very well there. It's not lined up very well there, Katie. What have you done? It's perfectly fine there. Alright, we'll live with it. I can always fix it. Okay. So, I'm just going to run my bone folder around there. Okay. So, it looks just like that, as you can see. We've got all our little teeth around there. So then when we've done that, we can take one of these pieces here that we cut all we cut everything off, the two little short tabs and the one long one, and we can attach it on here like so. And then it will cover up, these teeth and make it neater, and also reinforce that edge to make it a bit longer. So we need to do this on this side, and we need to do it again on this side. And rather than making you watch it, I will do it off camera and then I'll come back. And if you wanted to see it being done again, you can just go back and watch me make the mess of that one. Okay, so I'll just do this on this side, and I'll attach these two pieces, and then I'll come back, so it won't be long. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm back, and I have attached both of those side pieces together now, so it's starting to look more like a lid. And then I also attached these two pieces here with the ones where we cut the tabs off, so it's just holding that nice and firmly. It's just covering up those teeth and reinforcing those edges. So on them, I haven't necessarily lined it up very well, so I'm just going to grab my little scissors and just trim around here, and just trim off that little tiny lip of about 1 millimetre that's just sticking up a bit, and I'm not overly happy with it. See, just those tiny little bits there. And then I'm just going to use this emery board that I have and just smooth around the edges here, just to get them nice and smooth and flush. So I use an emery board a lot to do these sorts of things. I think it just gives it a nicer finish. So I'll just gently go around and just smooth off that edge on both sides, but I won't bore you with that right now. So we've got our bottom section and we've got our top section, and we can stick those together now. So actually what we need to do is fold on these tabs here on the inside, glue those in, blah blah blah. Did I make any sense there? We need to some glue on these tabs all the way around and glue them down just to reinforce those. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And actually, while I think about it, I think maybe we won't attach them together until a little bit further on, because it's certainly easier to work on the pieces when they're not attached. So I'm just attaching these little pieces here on the inside. May as well just go ahead and put some glue on all of those. And this one. Just turn those tabs in for a bit of strength. Sticky fingers. Like so. And like so. And last one. Fold that in along there. And press it down. There we go. So I might just put that aside to dry off, and I might clean up those edges off camera. So let's just put that aside, and maybe we can, let's see, we've got some other bits here. Maybe we can put the lock together. I can show you this little collection of things I've got here. So you could use metal hardware to put together your steamer trunk if you had some, but I wanted to make it so that even if you don't have any metal hardware to do this to do a lock that you could still put a nice lock on. So I designed this lock here. So that's these pieces here that I have, like so. That's all for the lock. I think there was another piece. Where is it? So there it is, tiny little piece. So let me show you those in the book. In here we have, in this bit of something stuck on there. In this file, the F file, we've got this piece here, which is F2, and that's this one here, which has got that fancy cutout, and it's got a score line down the middle. So I've cut out 2 of those, and I've already glued it together. So I just used my fine liner glue and ran around all the little sections there, and then sandwiched 2 of those together like that. So that's one of our parts of our lock. Then underneath there is the pink mat, which is F7. I've cut out 2 of those. I decided to cut it out of the scrapbook paper, so I'm going to put those 2 together as well, like so, so that it looks neat from both sides. So I'll go ahead and glue those together. So that's the pink mat hiding underneath, F7. I've got 2 of those there, so I'll go ahead and glue those together. Then I've got this one piece here, F3, which is this little guy here. Then I've got this tiny little piece there, F4, and that's this tiny little bit here. And then F5, another tiny little piece, which is that one there. So let me show you with this little tiny F4 piece. It has 4 tiny little score marks on it. So if you can see, I can bend it like this with those score marks on it. It's like a little U or a V or something like that. So what I'm going to do is fold it like so, and those score lines are on there, and then I'm going to put it through this hole like so. Oops. I'm going to try. Put it through like that, so then if I turn it over, you can see that it's got the 2 little tabs here, and I'm going to glue those 2 little tabs down on that side. Right, so let's do that. Put a little bit of glue on that little bit there, and slide that on like that. And I'm going to do the same on this side with that tiny little tabby bit at the end. Fold that over and press that down. And that's kind of like our little section of lock there. Okay, so where's my, I'll clean up that bit of glue that's sticking out. Like so. Okay, and then this one here, F5. Now this F5 piece has also got a series of little score lines on it. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines, and you can see this here has got sharp edges on it, and this side here has got rounded edges, and those are round edges for the tab. So if we roll it all up, and we can attach this tab here to the inside of this piece here, and it will make like a cylinder, a square cylinder. Is it a square cylinder? I'll put some glue on that one, and then I'm going to slide it over. Actually, I might just run my finger along that glue a bit, like so. Okay, and then I can roll these 2 together and make this tiny little cylindery thing here. Get my glue to stick. And that might have even been better to use a bit of double-sided tape on that. Just run that along there. Okay. And that's going to be our little bar that hooks through this little loop here, and it will hold our lock down. So this will fit really nicely in there, just like that. So that's the bottom of our lock section done. So then for the top of our lock section, we can glue these 2 guys together. Might use this glue for that. So these are the 2 F7 pieces. I'm just going to put some glue on here. and line it up with this one. I'm going to try line it up like so. Well, if it's not lined up quite right, we can just trim it off around the edges to make it how we like it. Okay, and then I'm just going to give that a little burnish. Keep all that down. Looks good. So I can see that I haven't lined it up very well just there, but I can just come along and trim off those bits that I'm not real happy about, or ink them up maybe. Bit of ink. There's already a bit of ink on here, but if I ink it up a bit more, look, never even know that I didn't get that right. And that little bit there. Perfect. Looks good. Okay, so then, now you could just leave your lock like that. You could have just, so what's going to happen is this is going to attach to the top of our trunk, and this is going to attach to the bottom of our trunk. And so then when it comes down and closes, it'll snap into place there like that. And then you can put this little bar in there and close it up like that. And then it won't open or close on its own. So you could have it just like that if you wanted to, or you can attach this guy to here as well and make it look a little bit fancy. And I'm going to do that. But I'm also thinking, so I'll show you what these bits are, but these are going to go, well, here's my little one. This has got the section here with the brads in it, this strapping. So I'm just about out of brads, but I had these eyelets. So this, of course, is bigger because we're making the full size one. So these are brass. So I'm actually thinking about getting out my embossing powder and my Versamark and embossing this a brassy colour and then attaching it onto there like that with some glue. So I might go and do that. You probably don't want to watch me do that because I'll fiddle-faddle around with that for ages. Okay, so I'm going to put some embossing powder on there. And I'm going to leave that one and that one. And while I'm gone, I will also just clean this little guy up a bit as well. And maybe I should put some mats on there. Maybe I should show you the mats that I've cut. I'm trying to save you from having to watch me do every single little piece, but still explaining everything that I'm doing. So, you know, I hope I'm doing okay with that. So for this one, I need 4 of the C3 mats. I need one for the outside on each side and one for the inside on each side. And I need 2 of the D2 mats, one for the outside and one for the inside. And then I also need 4 of these E4 mats for this strip here on the outside and on the inside. So what I might do is mat that as much as I can. These are the mats that I've chosen. So you can see I've got 4 of these guys. I've got 4 of these guys and 2 of these. Okay. And of course this will all be in the list, so you won't need to worry about that. So I might attach my mats to that, put my little brass bits on here. I can probably even do my mats for my bottom section, so I can show you those mats as well. So that's for this box here. Okay, so these will be written down as well, but I have cut out 2 of the A3 mats for the bottom of our box. Of our trunk, this side here and this side here. So I've cut out 2 of those. So that's these 2 wooden looking ones here. They'll go on there. Then I've cut out 3 of these B5 mats, and I'll tell you why. We have one for the front and one for the back, but then we also have one for this inside back section, which will be this one here. So that's going to go in there. But these inside sections are taller, so I need the mats for those pieces, and the mats for those pieces are E3. I need one E3 and I need two F6s. Okay, so here's my E3 piece. Is that my E3 piece? Yes, my E3 piece is taller, right? So my E3 piece is going to go in on here, and then my F6 pieces are going to go here. All right, so it's all written down in the description box, so you know exactly what pieces you need to cut out. But I'll go ahead and do as much of the matting as I can, and then I'll come back and we'll attach the lid and we'll do some handles and things like that. Okay, so I'll see you again soon. Okay guys, so I'm back and I have put my matting on the outside, and I have also already attached my lock because it was a bit fiddly. I thought it would be easier for you to see it like once I've already done it. So I've covered this bit here that was black with the embossing powder, and then I've attached it to the other piece that was under there. You remember there were two pieces, and then this little bit here that we made that loops through here to hold it all closed, and then you just lift it up and then you can open it up, and let's have a look here. Oops. This is the black piece with that little hooky bit here that we did before. So that's all done. I've matted the inside. I made a boo-boo and attached this mat here, and then thought, oh no, I can't do that yet. So all we need to do is attach the two pieces together, and so we can do that now. So I will show you the piece that I need. I've already cut it out. This is the A2 piece, and that's a hinge. So that's here in this file. It's this piece here. So there's no mat for it. It's just a piece out of the black cardstock. And all we need to do is attach the longer piece here on the longer side of the crease to the back here, like so, and glue that down, and then I can glue my mat down properly all the way there. Then this bit here, I might not actually do it because it's really difficult to show you on camera. This bit here will attach to the back here of my lid, like so. So I'll attach those two together, and then I can put my matte piece that I've already cut on top of it, like so. So then the two pieces will be attached by this piece here. So it goes in there and then attaches onto here, like so. And then we can put the mats on and close it up, and it's all done. So to put this on, I just found the middles of my box here and lined up this little pointy piece in the middle, and then I've attached it right up flush to the edge of the top of the box, not the top of the insert because that's going to be underneath the lid, but just to this section here, to the top of that section. And then I have also put on one of my handles. So let me show you the handles. The handles are here, B1. So for each handle I've cut two pieces of cardstock. So I've got two pieces of the B1 cardstock, and then I've got one B for matte, and that's this one here. So I've just attached these two together. I've just glued them together, which I'll do now. So I'll just put a bit of glue on here. And pop this one on top and line them up. and then press them down. Ugh. If you can hear a funny noise, that's one of my puppies having a little nap after dinner, and apparently snoring quite loudly with a full belly. They're both fast asleep under the desk. So that's one handle, and then I'll just put the mat on there. I can lift it up. Put a bit of glue on here. Come on, glue, come on out. And then pop that on there where I want it. Flatten it down, just like so. Okay, and that's my handle. And then to attach it onto the side, I have measured down from the top of the box, not the top of the insert, but from the top of the box I have measured down about 6.5 centimeters, which is about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to put the bottom of my handle on that line, and then I'm going to come in 2 centimeters from each side, and 2 centimeters is about 3/4 of an inch. And then I'll just sort of curl my handle around a little bit, and then sort of just not really score it, but just sort of fold it and bring it up at these edges so that it goes like so. And then I'll put the bottom of my handle at the 6.5 centimeter line, and along that 2 centimeter line, so that it's just sticking out like that. So that's what I've done on this side already, so you can see that. Okay, so that is pretty much that. Then I just thought I would show you, but I won't waste your time because this video will go on forever. Just get this on. I'll try to. There we go. Okay, the other thing is to do some sort of decorations on it, like this little guy here. It's got these strips across here. So those strips are here, the B3 strips, and then the B6 mat. So I've already cut a bunch of them out. I've done 6. I don't know exactly how many I'll use, but that's this piece here. So it comes, I'm running out of room here with all my bits and pieces. It comes with a fold on either side so that you can fold it in and glue it down, and then you have a nice strong strip. So, and it just gives it a bit more dimension, looks more interesting than just a flat piece of, I think I'll use this glue, than just a flat piece of cardstock. So just put a bit of glue along there and a bit of glue along here, and then just fold them over and glue them down. If I could find my bone folder, that'd be handy. This one will do. Like so. And then on this one I used some brads, but I'm running low on brads, so for this one I used eyelets, and I just put an eyelet at every inch. And then I will just decorate my box with these any way I like. So I might put them across here. I was thinking maybe I might put one looped over there maybe, or I don't know. So this one here I put them over the front here, or over the top here, and then along the front down here, and then one across there. And I think that might have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips. I haven't put them anywhere else. Like in here, I've got lots of little glitters in here. Some of the sort of chunky glitters. which are really good for shakers and things. So I just put them all in here. Fun little box, little steamer trunk or treasure chest full of glitter. And then for this one, because the little bitsy thing was so small, I just used a matchstick, but just toss that in there. I'll do that later. So you can do as many of these and decorate your little steamer trunk as much as you like. So that's those ones. I did the handle, I showed you how to do the hinge. There's a little bit of the inside mat to do, and then my little closure. So I might just pop these to the side so I don't lose those. And there was one more thing that I just wanted to show you, which was how to make the file folder inserts to go inside. So let's do that. So in here there are 2 file folder inserts, the last 2 files. Open up. G1 and H1, and then the pink mats that go on top of that. So I've cut out each of those. So this one here's the G1. And you can see that it's the G1 because it's got the corner, it's got the tab on the edge. And then the H1 has got the tab on this side here. So when they're sitting in the box, they'll line up just perfectly like that. Now, if you want them to go 3 and 4, then instead of folding it, so if I wanted it to be this way around, I'll fold it in like this. But then if I fold it this way, and fold this in, then it becomes the sort of the last one on this side instead of the first one on this side. Like I've made a few. Here we go. Been working on these, and so I have 1, oops, 1 and 2 like that, and then this one here I just folded it the other way around to make it the next one, to make it the third, like this one, and then we have 4. So then when they're sitting in my box, in my trunk, they'll sit like that, and I can just put whatever it is that I want to put on each one of those and then pop it in my trunk. So I thought I'll just quickly show you how to do a couple of these, or maybe we'll just do one because I know this video is getting long. Okay, so this one I want it to be here, the first one, so I'm going to fold it this way. And so we need to fold these guys in on the sides, and then it's just like an accordion fold. So I'm going to fold it up on itself like so and close it up like that. And the same on this side, I'm going to fold it in like that. So you can see, you might be able to see the little folds there. So then I just need to put some glue on those tabs. Excuse me. The glue's closed up. Just need to put some glue on these tabs. Ugh. Like this. And this one. Okay, and then this edge here will fold up and meet up the top here, like so, and line up down along this edge here, and we'll just crease it down like that. And then we have that side done, so nothing will sneak out the edges. And we'll just do the same on this side. So just bring that tab in, line that top corner up with the corner of that little tab. Make sure it's lined up, and then squash that one down too. And so then we have our little expandable file folders that we can put whatever we want to put in here. So I'm going to put my photos that haven't made it to the to an album yet in here. That's my plan. And sometimes they don't make it to an album at all, so I'm going to put those in here. So then there's the mat. So here, this bit square mat here, these ones here, will go on this front section and also obviously on the back, so you can mat both sides of it. And then it has this little tiny mat up here, which I haven't done yet because I don't know if I'm going to write on them or what my plan is. So I think that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away. I'm going to finish up making my little file folders and matting them, and I will attach all my bits and pieces to my steamer trunk. The bits that are left to do, my little fancy bits and my other handle. I think I'm going to give the whole thing a spray coat of acrylic sealer. I'm not sure. I think I might either matte or gloss. I haven't really decided yet. I think I did this one gloss, and look how tough they come out once you've done that. And it's not too glossy, so I think I might do glossy. And it will be done. So thanks very much for joining me today, guys. I hope that you find a use for your steamer trunk if you or if you like the steamer trunk. And there's a link to my Etsy store down below, and I've got some more projects on the way, so I hope I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks very much for joining me. Bye. Bye.